Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Cinema Post Bunch. This week we're going to be focusing on Halloween 2018. So we're just going to go around in the circle and everyone gives a brief opinion of what they thought about the film, starting with Hunter.
Yeah, so going into the film, I was pretty skeptic with how it would be just because there's been so many Halloween films in the past. And coming out, I was actually really surprised, and I thought it was a really good film. I really liked it, everything about it. And, Blumhouse Productions really used the Blumhouse model, which I thought was great. Got Jamie Lee Curtis back, which was great, so yeah.
All right, now to Christian.
I really enjoyed it. It's a fun movie. It's a fun popcorn movie. It trades the tropes of like 1970s horror for like 2010s horror. Like it's just not like groundbreaking in any sense of the word, but it's still a very fun, enjoyable time. There's a lot of healthy homage in the film and a lot of fun little moments. Go see it. Go see it. Go see it with friends. Go see it with your family. Go see it with like people, whatever.
So I kind of came in expecting, a horror slasher, like the original Halloween, which I saw for the first time just a few weeks before this one. So I definitely caught a lot of like the homages and little callbacks. But really, I think it was more of a slasher action. There were still definitely horror elements, but I think kind of with Jamie Lee Curtis, it's shown in the trailers with her preparing for Michael to come back. It kind of twists it into more of an action-y movie. There's still for sure horror elements, but I'd say it's more of like an action slasher than a horror slasher. But yeah, I definitely still liked it. There's good moments of comedy that don't take you out. They're just really enjoyable, and yeah, go see it.
So I went to this movie. My expectations were somewhat low just because this isn't really my type of movie, and to be honest, I thought the original was pretty cheesy and kind of stupid. So my expectations were really low, and let's just say those expectations were met. I did not really enjoy this movie, mostly again because this type of pointless slasher action movie isn't necessarily my cup of tea, but I thought that there were a lot of problems with the writing. I think the direction and the cinematography was done fairly well. I think there were some really cool looking shots. I think that there were some really smooth sort of scenes of action and murder, but I think that some of the writing struggled to remain consistent and achieve an even flowing tone throughout the movie, and that was a downfall for me because there were moments where it felt like they were trying to be funny and create depth for these characters, and I became attached to certain characters that basically existed just for Michael Myers to murder, I guess.
First topic I want to discuss is kind of the change of scare tactics from the old movie to the new movie. So what was used in the original Halloween to make the audience feel terror, the thrill, right? And what did this movie decide to use, and what were the differences?
I'll try to tackle this. I think, but first of all, I should go with perspective. I am a huge horror movie person. I grew up watching the Jason Voorhees with Friday the 13th or Freddy Krueger. Those are my superheroes before superhero movies became a thing. That was mine.
Did you just say Freddy Krueger is your hero? You know who I want to grow up to be like? Freddy fucking Krueger. Freddy fucking Krueger.
Yeah,
keep it PG.
That was my genre growing up. That was my thing. Horror movies are my thing. So that was what I watched, and what a lot of Halloween did that I love. It was very the difference is it was very slow building horror. It wasn't the horror. It's not the horror that we've become accustomed to, where it's jump scares, big bad kills, whatever. It's a very it feels cheesy now, but in the context of the time, it was very violent. It's very violent. There's a lot more variety in terms of tone. There's a lot more comedic moments. There's a lot more character focused moments, and so as a movie overall, I'll give it that advantage, that variety. But because it has that variety, it loses a lot of that horror edge the original had. So it's a good movie, but as a horror movie, I would say it does not succeed the same way that the original does.
Yeah, I wasn't really scared of Michael Myers most of this film. I was more than anything excited to like see him kill the next person, and like, you know, how would he do it? You know, how would he arrange like how would he like mess with her body? Because Michael Myers, or The Shape or whatever, has, you know, he's all into the theatrics, which makes for a really enjoyable film. So it's definitely a different tone from the original, but I liked that. It was fun, but you know, maybe some diehard fans of like older horror might not like that.
I actually thought the new Halloween was like it did a good job of generating like some good tension and actual like genuinely somewhat scary moments. But the problem is for me is that it sort of lost that when it tried to add those comedic moments, and it tried to have like those character moments where all of a sudden like I was invested in this scene. It was scary, it was like tense, and then all of a sudden I'm out of it because some guy just made a shitty joke, or we're gonna take some time away to explore these characters who are inevitably just going to be murdered.
I think everyone's kind of hit the nail, but they really use suspense in this film to make it scary. I mean, they're dealing with so many remakes, so many different Halloween films that, I mean, we've already seen how Michael kills. We've seen the way he does things, and you know, I think David Gordon Green and Danny McBride writing this film was a good choice with, you know, having a comedic side and a scary suspense side, but I don't think that's a writer's fault as much as like the audience already knowing how Michael kills and knowing the way he works. So I think they took a different take on it. They actually had a more artistic style to this, I think, than the past Halloweens with just certain shots. They definitely focused on like Michael being in the background or out of focus, and having silhouettes of Michael, you know, just they definitely focused on lighting and stuff like that to make him look scarier or more appealing to the audience. So. I mean, coming from a business standpoint, I would say that this film was successful. I mean, the viewers loved it. The ratings were really well done. David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, I'd say they did a great job. Yeah.
Jason Blum's going to be very happy with how this weekend's turning out.
For sure, yeah.